you that is not the truth of who you are. So you're letting false evidence create that fear within you.
Amen. And Marcia Davis in the chat room said, fear is a strong man, but I like to put in that going in the wrong direction. I just want to do the predicate of that, the outcome. Okay, so read on, Prophet Cynthia.
Fear occurs when your habits and behaviors spiral out of control and reveal to you things about the world that are false. An acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. When you have control over your patterns of thinking and acting, you will know no fear. Patterns can make us feel hopeless because they appeal to be so difficult to change. We can actually change the patterns in our lives, but not in an instant. Changing life's pattern requires dedicated effort, time, and patience using a kind of inner alchemy.
Yes, now looking at the whole idea of patterns and the changing of patterns, there's got to be an inward work, because what's on the inside determines what shows up on the outside. Your inside action brings your outside reaction. The inner alchemy is what creates the outcome of your situation. Your situation, desire for success, you got to do some change on the inside. You got to change the script. You got to change the neurological programming that has been taking place on the inside of you. You got to change the pattern that is on the inside of you, because you're going to keep repeating that garment. So success has a pattern. And I want everyone to type in the chat room right now, success has a pattern. There is a pattern to success, and there's a pattern that you must participate in for success to be evident in your life. Okay, when you identify your pattern, you will know who you are. When you identify your what? Pattern, you will know what?
Who you are.
Okay, read on, Prophet Cynthia.
Everything is constantly moving, evolving system of thought that takes us to a predictable end. If you know the pattern, you can predict the end. This is how the prophets do their work. We have honed our skills in identifying the hidden patterns of individual thought. Gratitude is very powerful and also has the ability to refocus your mind. Being grateful eliminates negative thoughts from your mind, and negative thinking is the bane of your existence.
Wow, negative thinking is the bane of your existence. What you think about that, Prophet Miola? Negative thinking.
Yes, it is. You know, it blocks opportunities, it blocks blessings from you, and you know, it creates a pattern within itself. When people aren't thankful, when that gratitude isn't there, you start to lean to those other emotions. You start to lean towards fear. You start to lean towards doubt. Amen. But it seems as that the two emotions can't occupy the same space. When gratitude comes in, when thankfulness comes in, it brings a joy, it brings a peace that removes and dissolves the fear.
Amen. Prophet Thompson.
You know, Master Prophet, I agree with Prophet Miola so much, because you know what? Once one begins to understand that you can never have darkness and light dwelling together, one got to give up of its reign for the other to stand in its place. You know what? When we begin to understand that fear and the pattern that brings success cannot coexist together, you got to choose one above the other. Choose ye this day which will reign in your life. Will it be fear, or will it be the pattern that leads to good success?
So when we say negative thinking is the bane of your existence, it could be like, you know, when you look at that word bane there, it could be, look at the ruins, you know, like a person or a thing that ruins or spoil, like gambling was the bane of his existence. Okay, or a deadly poison, okay, becomes the bane of a plant's existence or a human existence, okay, or it's obsolete that causes the death or destroys the life, entraps or drowned beneath the watery bane. So when you begin to understand this, a negative thinking pattern brings about the abolishing of your system. But also there could be a giving pattern that brings about the fruitfulness of your existence.
Yes.
Taylor Wellington instant messaged me I said, Master Prophet, I sowed my 1,000 seed on last Friday. I have started to see the miracles. Before I could not get approved for a car, but on Saturday after I sowed my seed, I got approved. Not to mention the home that you told me about. It's $2.5 million, and the owner of the home is working with us. He said if we could bring him 6%, he will pay the rest of the closing fees, deed transfer, and etc., even buy the furniture to put in a home. I don't have the money on me right now, but I trust God to give it to me tomorrow. I believe the prophet. See, now this was a person that had no money.
Jesus.
And the miracle started with Imani. We felt led to buy her clothes. You know, the word of the Lord came and stuff. And now she went and did her $1,000 seed on last Friday. Could not afford. You remember that too. You remember her situation, the story that they were not in a position to do this.
That's true.
But we put it in their mind that they could do it.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
It started with a thought.
Thought.
Already she's looking at a $2.6 million house. Now, is it possible for her to get it? There will be some patterns that she would have to get into place. I won't tell her no. But it will take some time to get the pattern in place for her to get into it. But that's just showing that someone's talking with her at that level is saying that she started to cast out the neural net. The vibration has started homing in to certain energies. And that's why we're trying to teach you that your thought pattern creates your destiny or the outcome of the situation in your outer world.
Yes.
And now is the time for you to begin to know that there's a bigger reward happening for you, just like for Taylor Wellington. And so if you would start to get yourself up under this money tree, you're going to start to see results. You're going to start to see an energy and a synergy. And I like this, Prophetess Viola Heath. What did Prophetess Viola Heath say in the chat room? Can you read that for me? One of the prophets. Who's going to read that for me so you get the camera on you?
Start weaving that pattern.
Start weaving the pattern. What do you think Viola Heath is really saying there to her?
She's letting her know that she's setting herself up for that pattern of success, that she's getting it in her thought, she's getting it in her mind, and she's starting to weave that pattern, bringing it into being.
My goodness. What would you say about that, Prophet Thompson?
You know, Master Prophet, even the pattern is like how they taught you to make 1, 2, and 3. Follow that line, and you'll come to the end of the success formula.
Woo! Do you think that these formulas that we're giving out to people, these patterns, you know, most people didn't know that there was a pattern to success. Most people thought you accident your way to riches. Why do you think they thought that, Prophetess Cynthia?
You know, Master Prophet, I don't know why, because you know what? They're looking outside of themselves. That really is the key. Those who thought that it just happened by chance, they didn't realize they were giving their power to somewhere else, thinking somebody else was bringing it into their life. But it's them. You do it through your thoughts. You don't accident yourself really into anything. You think yourself into it. And as you have that thought and consciousness, it starts to show up and appear in your life. And the good thing about it, it lets you know that you have the power to shape and form your life. Nobody's doing anything to you. It's all you.
My God, it's all you. Prophet Fitzroy, what would you say about this?
Yes, the grace is all you. You have the ability to weave that magic wand, that pattern, that magic wand within you to create that pattern, just like a spider create that web. It's all for a purpose. You have that ability to refurbish your own train tracks in your mind. Wherever you want it to go, you have that ability to lay those tracks. Lay the tracks of success. Lay the tracks to attract money, and it shall be.
And see, once you understand this as your prophetic business coach, I want to teach you that there is a pattern to your success. And one of the things that I want you to know is that I am responsible for your success. Did I hear you right? Yes. You know, a pattern maker becomes responsible for the outcome of the pattern.
Yes.
Now, you become responsible for your own success by using my pattern.
Yes.
Wow.
You see how this works?
Wow.
Listen, some of you are having a hard time with me right now. But I am responsible for your success.
Jesus.
Yes.
I dare someone to type in the chat room, the master prophet is responsible